Hey guys, I'm just doing a quick 2-minute video uh, just for my class. We were we're talking about grit and the growth mindset, covering in three particular areas: academically, professionally, and personally. Um, when it comes to academically, I have tremendous goals concerning my academic life. My goal is to get my doctorate, maybe one or two doctorates, one in divinity and one in the field that I am in, network administration with a tent on financial training. Um, the other area dealing with grit is a professional goal. I am currently working at Charter Spectrum, and in that particular field, um, I use my perseverance and my grit to go after studying so that I can be the best technician that I can be. The sky's the limits when it pertains to which direction I decide to go. Um, Also, personally, there are some things that I love to do, some goals that I have with my family, specifically my wife and kids. There are certain kind of houses and things that I want to acquire. Um, in my current classes that we're taking, there the focus in our class this week is grit. I want to encourage you that grit is one of the most important things that you can find in life to help you accomplish. We had to go to a TED Talk training where we were introduced to a speaker who taught us about how, when they were teaching various schools and various children, they experienced um, children with high IQs that could not really perform in class, and then they experienced children that had low IQs, but they were the best performers in school. And after her training and her studies, what to put sum it up in a nutshell, she came to the conclusion that grit was the difference maker. Grit is what makes you having that get up and go to where you just grind it out. At the end of the day, you can have talents, you can have gifts, you can have abilities, but if you want your dreams to come to pass, you have to have grit. There are a couple projects that I have encountered in my life. There were some in work, there were some in school, and there were some that I've done with the community. When I used to work with my dad's drum and bugle corps, um, we took grit for us to help the kids day in and day out, consistently year round, uh, just helping them to have a holding place, as my dad used to say. Our goal wasn't necessarily to be the greatest or the worst, but our goal was to give the kids a holding place until they were able to find themselves. And that holding place that we gave them helped them to avoid, for some of them, prison, for some of them, death, for some of them, crazy lifestyles. Just that holding place, and it created a community and atmosphere that caused them to find something different in life. When it comes to schooling, I found that grit is what helps me when it comes to my academic pursuits. I'm in my late 30s and I am pushing for another degree. I know that for some people that's crazy, and I know for some people I'm I'm taking too long to do what I should have done a long time ago. But for me, setting a goal and not quitting, even if it takes me a long time, it takes grit to pursue and to push through your pursuits in life. When it pertains to my working, I work. A lot of the people that I work with were younger than me. My trainers were younger than me. Even my manager right now, my supervisor is younger than me. But age is not what dictates my motivation in where I'm going in life. Uh, I've learned that because I have that tenacity not to quit, that it can propel me and help me to go places that may seem like I'm too old or too young for in particular areas. Grit is the secret. You need grit. The Bible says, if you are a believer, that we must be persevering and we must be effectual in our prayers. I just use that as an example because me myself, I'm a minister. um, Grit is what that text is talking about. We need grit in life. When you're going after, whether it's your spiritual walk with the Lord, or whether it's your learning in school, or whether it's dealing with your children, whatever goal you're trying to accomplish, you need grit to accomplish that goal. I pray that I help you. The only other area that deals with grit is when it comes to its contribution to our both failures and our successes. When it comes to our failures, the lack of grit can cause you to get tired, burn out, and it also can cause you to get to a place to where people are able to pull you. You get a little frustrated, distressed. But if you keep hold on to that fight and that tenacity, if you look back over your life, most of the time it is most likely the definer in in the things that you have accomplished in life. You had grit, even if that grit was birthed because you had children and you had to survive, or that grit was birthed because you wanted something different. That grit is what caused you to be the difference. It's not gifts, it's not talents. You can have gifts, but some of the most gifted people are the most lazy. Some of the most talented people are the most crazy. So I encourage you in this life that make sure that you take grit and you allow it to help propel you. Me personally, I am using it to keep my focus in the midst of having my kids and my wife and having working my job and working on getting even a second job. I'm going to school as well as working on certification. The difference maker for me is I have to have the grit to grind it out day in, day out, whether I like it, when I feel good, when I don't. Grit, because I have a goal, I have to get it accomplished. I pray that I was able to assist you in your walk with life. God bless you.